What to expect if Tinubu or Atiku wins? Ahmed Gumi speaks again. This one, it will shock you, my people. Ahmed Gumi, a controversial Islamic cleric who is known for his contacts with bandits and herdsmen terrorizing the northwest and north-central parts of Nigeria. In the second part of his interview with Vanguard's columnist Duno Gobara and the British journalist Patrick, speaks on the 2023 polls and the main contenders, the Fulani Herdsmen, the locals crisis, and the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB secessionist bid in the southeast, among other issues in the polity. Except, has negotiation ever worked? I mean, if you look at what Daesh has done in Iraq and Syria, there is nothing about that group that indicates they would negotiate. ISWAP and Boko Haram are the only two groups that want to destroy the nation. How do you deal with them? You deal with them through dialogue. When you dialogue with somebody, you understand the complexity of his agitations and what he's looking for. You can use their fashions to fight them back. If you can get Boko Haram online and Anasiru online, they can take care of ISWAP. And the IPOB Southeasterners who are ready to remain in Nigeria are negligible. What do you think is the standing of groups like ISWAP, Boko Haram, and Anasaru among the generality of the people of the North? Because Northerners seems to have suffered more from their attacks than anything else. He was asked again. Oh, yes, definitely. They don't have any ground in the North. They don't have. They can only live in the forest. But you don't hear them in mice preaching or in nobody accept them. Nobody accepts their ideology. Nobody. The former Emir Sanusi of Kano criticized the ideology of Boko Haram, ISWAP, and so on. He said the problem was that a lot of mainstream Islamic teachers are unwilling to condemn those groups because of the pushback from local people. Is that true? No, I think it is a perception. The local people are far away from accepting this ideology. Are they afraid of that? He was asked again. No. If they captured a village or something like that, people just have to scumble to them. But like, for instance, in the Kaduna area, nobody is following them. In Kano and Sokoto, nobody is following them. The general population is not allowing them. They tax their local people. So, in some sense, those local people have to respect those groups as the authority, but they don't follow their ideology. If this goes on, you are in a bit of a situation where the constitutional authorities, the state government, and the police forces will become irrelevant. No, they cannot get more control. It is like a burning candle. Yes, they are strong now, but there are mistakes the government is making. We hope if we have a government that listens, it will take proactive methods to pipe it down. For instance, Anasaru is already for peace. They are ready to sit down, but they want a genuine partner in this talk. In the end, they may require us to give them a place where they can do their religious practices. Weeks they are not armed. I don't see any problem with that. We have the Zaki movement. When it started, they were saying it was Boko Haram. You take these people out of their ignorance. Killing will not solve the problem. So, could you explain how these groups come to approach you? They don't contact me. They contacted my media expert. As I was going into the forest, I was talking with herdsmen. You have to differentiate them from herdsmen. The Herdsmen insurgency is different from Anasiru, who just came in recently. So what is the difference between the two? Herdsmen and the indigenous people in the forest, they are fighting back against vigilantes that have been killing them and preventing them from going to the markets. Unfortunately, the government took sides instead of the government being in the middle. It is supporting vigilantes. The government was arming vigilantes against the herdsmen. That is why they have become armed and wild. They control the forests. But Anasiru is a different element that came in, and the vicinity, they have symbolic relationship with herdsmen. We don't want the herdsmen to adopt their ideology. They contacted my media expert because he portrays facts about the crisis without putting political or religious sentiments. When did these herdsmen become a problem? It actually started 2010. That was when their cattle was rescued. They were displaced from their land, and the military came to kill a lot of them in the name of fighting cattle wrestling. This is the genesis, and the volunteers started killing them too. They are the victims of cattle wrestling, and they ended up being killed. That is why they took arms. This is an insurgency. They are taking arms to fight back. I have been there. I have talked to them. I have sat down with them. I have seen them. If they get a partner who will encourage them to drop their arms, they will do that. They want a government that will build schools and hospitals and take their children to schools. I built a school in the forest, and as of now, I am taking care of about 600 women, children and women. They can't, they can't state, why can't the state do that? So why did cattle wrestling start there? Okay, somebody wants to destabilize the region. They want to deprive the herdsmen. Their cattle were rescued and their land was confiscated, and they revolted. This is just a revolt who wanted to destabilize the region. Many people are pointing fingers. I will not mention names. There are foreign interests. People are interested. There are a lot of solid minerals in the area, and some people want to destabilize the area so that they can capitalize on it. Even foreigners are involved. How many foreigners were caught in the bush? Fulani in Mali have herds of cattle. They will come here to kill. He has his land and his cattle. What is he doing? What is he coming to do in Nigeria? In fact, it is the opposite. Many Nigerian Fulani has gone to Niger. Some have gone to Cameroon. They have displaced because of the tension now. They are leaving Nigeria and going to other countries to hide with their cattle. Do you feel Fulani people in Nigeria are getting a reputation for being blamed for the instability? There are two types of Fulani. There are Fulani that is herdsmen. Traditionally, they inherited cattle. They will tell you these cattle are inherited about 5 generations ago. They have refused to educate themselves. They only have cattle as their capital. And there are Fulani all over the town. In fact, I don't think there is any tribe that has intermarried with other tribes than the Fulani. If you go to the east, you will see a Fulani speaking Igbo. I have seen a Fulani who speaks Igbo. I have seen a Fulani who was speaking Yoruba. I have seen a Fulani who was speaking other languages. And in the Hausa area, a lot of these people, you see, are Fulani. That is why they coined the word Hausa Fulani after all. There are Fulani that turned into Hausa. And these Hausa are fighting anybody, whether you are Fulani or not. Once you are a town dweller, you are part of the government. You are part of the people. I'm dropping it here.